Develop your skills. Exercise 4, Development 07. Use the if function. Well, this is it. This is one of the big hurdles because it's not hard, but it's different. Trying to wrap your mind around how to use a logical quandary in a program is not something we do very often until we're doing something like computer programming or Excel work. It's not that it's hard. You're going to see as it comes together that it's all about getting your mind around the picture, making sure that you understand which information's going where and how to ask Excel to make these discerning choices for you. Let's go through an if function now. If is a logical function. So as soon as we open up our commissions worksheet, we're going to take a look. What do we need logically? Well, we have all these numbers. Hey, logically, I need to know certain sales numbers and if goals were met. We'll start with sales, and then, logically, if the goal was met, we want to know. If it wasn't, tell us it wasn't. We'll just add goal met with a question mark. This is where our if statement will occur. I'll enter the sales numbers given in the book, and these are just arbitrary numbers. If you don't know where these are coming from, don't worry. They're just in your book on page 57. Alright, there we go. I'm going to make my sales goal 30,000. Okay, and now it's time to add the if statement. Here's what we're going to do. Under goal met, we want to know, we want it to tell us here if this number has surpassed the sales goal. You're always going to want to click in the cell where you want the output. Where do I want it to tell me the number has been met or not? Right under goal met is where I want that information. So we'll click up here on the f of x, the insert function, and then we select logical. Now you'll notice that logical has a lot of if, not, or, and, false. These are all logical functions, meaning that these words will have Excel discern something. If a certain number is above another number, let us know. If one thing and another thing are both present in our data, let us know. If one thing but not another is there, we need to know if we have only one. Are you seeing how these single words are going to get us a lot of these logical discernments? Don't worry about some of the weird ones, if, and, and zor. We can work on those later. They have the same function, though. They're a single word that asks for a single condition. In this case, logical, click if, and then either double-click if or click OK. What we have now is called the function arguments window, and this is where we're going to enter all of our information. Two really important things to note. The function arguments will give you everything that this formula, right here, will use to calculate its output. Only the things in bold are required. It'd be kind of weird to have a logical test with no true or false statement, but it will run the test for us. Here's what we're going to tell it. F5 greater than or equal to F15, and make it an absolute reference. Before you say, oh good lord, what did he just do? Stop and think. Read this from left to right, top to bottom, and ask yourself if you can figure this one out even before you click the OK button. If our logical test shows that F5 is greater than or equal to F15, in this case it's not, it's false, because we 28,775 is less than 30,000. What happens when it's false? Well, the goal has not been met. Whenever you want it to just type a word, you put it in quotation marks. If the goal were met, goal met. Pretty straightforward. I think they just have you do yes and no in the book, so we'll stick with those. And now when we click enter, no. 28,775 is less than 30,000. Use the fill handle to move your formula down. And before I let go, what do you think we should have? Based on the numbers, it looks like we should have no, 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 yes. Hey, there we go. Our formula's worked out. Now, take a look up here and see what we've done. Equals if parenthesis. That's just how the formula starts. Equals if, that means we're doing an if function. F5, right here, is greater than or equal to F15 right here, then we want to know, yes, they met their goal. If that is not true, no, they did not. When we come down here, if F6, so we're considering this cell now, is greater than or equal to F15, and remember those cell references, those absolute references, those dollar signs, keep us from moving this cell. We want F5 and F15 considered. We don't want F6 and F16 considered. And instantly we're going to get yes, 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 because this is 0. Everything's going to be greater than or equal to 0 here. So if we got no, yes, 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 we would probably just need to return here and make sure that it's always considering 30,000 instead of considering this for cell F5, this for cell F6, this for cell F7. Take a look at these, and especially when you're doing a logical function in the book, even before you click OK, take a look at this and say, can I see, in my mind, what's going to happen? I mean, this is a really simple one. We know which numbers are and are not above or equal to or below 30,000. That's very easy. If you were doing this on a huge spreadsheet where we needed it greater than or equal to a certain value, that was a huge combination of 12 other values, and if we were doing this for a whole bunch of other values that could rapidly change, we would definitely want to have an if statement give us a quick yes or no when we can't just eyeball it. Remember, go through this lesson a couple times. Take a look and see if you can see in your head where Excel is going. First, Excel is going to look at F5, and then it's going to compare it to cell F15. It's going to see if it's greater than or equal to cell F15. If it is, it's going to do this. If it's not, it's going to do this. Work with different ways of saying it out loud, of seeing it, and of trying to predict what it's going to do so you get a better view of everything that these if statements can do.